Hey everyone, Tomias here. Welcome to another Artery Gear video. So this video is going to be me explain how 2 days in I managed to complete all the normal story stages as well as reach the last stage for the beginner's quest line. So I'll have a more in-depth video about the beginner's quest line, but to just show you that this is my day 2 right now, you can see that I completed all 7 chapters. And I know what I'm doing because I played on Steam servers, so if you watch my previous reroll guide, I'll showcase why I use some of the units to clear all of the current story stages, which is chapter 7 and 3-starred everything. So a few things first, I'll show you the units that I have used throughout this clearing. So first of all, it's Grace, 5-star, and Grace, like I said before, is my fodder farmer, the most, I would say, important unit for me at the moment as I'm going through a story. So all of her skills are maxed, and you can only max her skills or upgrade her skill levels after you go through the ascension, or I'm not sure what the correct term is, but you have to reach a 3-star filled essentially. You can see here that in the bottom here that the 3 stars are filled. So after 3 stars are filled, you can start upgrading her mats, or her skills. And you have to know that the 3-star base unit, so in this case Grace, uses different skill mats than 5-star, for example. So it's okay to upgrade a unit like Grace because she's not going to eat into your skill book mats for high rarity units. And she's just my fodder farmer. You can see this is her gear. All of these gears are free. So one of the most important things is do not upgrade any gear other than your free mission gear at the moment, and only go to +6. You can see here that I went +12 on this item because one of the last quests in the beginner's questline 3rd stage requires a +12 equip. So I just did it for speed because I know I'll require a speed boot later on as well. So yeah, this is the stat of my Grace. Only level 50, 3-starred ascended, with max skilled and just free gear. So she's the main carry, and then of course I have my Alice, max level 40, +2 on the speed boost or the extra turn mechanic, which just brings down the cooldown by 1. So Alice is super important. If you don't know why, just watch my previous video. She definitely made a lot of things easier. Again, I'm running her on the free gear, so +6 on some of those gears. The defense set I'm giving her with decent speed. So this is just making her tanky through defense without boosting her HP too much, so that the healer can help. And speaking of healer, I have my Morris. So this is a free 4-star based healer that everyone will get on day 2, and that's why I waited till day 2 to clear the story, because I got stuck at chapter 6, chapter 7 first stage or chapter 6 last stage, just because I didn't have a healer. But with Morris, yeah, pretty much everything was just auto after that. So I've got her again on the free gear that you get from the story, the beginner's quest line. Just the HP 4-star set, +6 again to gain the 2 purple slots, because the substats you don't gain until you plus the equipments. And then for my flex slot, I run either the Roko, just level 40 with some random gear thrown together, or the White Fox. So White Fox you'll use later on more because, and she's gearless at the moment, you'll use her later more because she's a superb boss killer. In story it's more about cleaving and single target for bosses. So I switched between White Fox and Roko because White Fox, while she's a 5-star, she's going to be great in terms of tanking and also dealing damage, but the issue is some stages require you to use green units to get that 3-star. So you know my core is going to be Grace, Morris, and Alice, so that covers the water and the red part. I'm missing a green, so I have to run Roko in some of those stages. If there is no requirement for the green unit to be used in that stage, then I usually run Ginga, the White Fox, because she's just a bit better in terms of the story at the moment. So yeah, that's what I used. And on day 1, because I didn't have Morris, the red type healer / tank, I actually ran 04, because she's a fire type and she does help clean up with some cleaves. So for her, again, she's a free unit that everyone gets or unlocks, at the end of the first story chapter, and she has built-in cleaves. So yeah, I used her before I got the free Morris from checking in on day 2. So that is pretty much what I used. Quick rundown, and I'll show you some tips and tricks of story clearing, because of course that's not just the end of the story. Well, if you have questions on what homepage I'm using, it's from the event. You can farm it. You obtain it after I think you beat it. You just go into the story cutscenes and you can choose. I really quite like this one. Been using this on the CM server ever since the release. So yeah, it's quite nice. And let's go back to some tips and tricks. So I think first things first, I think a lot of questions I got from the Discord, and do join the Discord, the link is in the description for the community. A lot of questions I got on the Discord was, when should I farm event? When should I farm, story? When to farm weapons? I'll have detailed guides on all of that, including events and equipment farming, but for now, my go-to, my suggestion is still, you want to farm story, go as far as you can until you're stuck. After you're stuck, you go back to check to see if you've completed. So this is beginner's questline, and it has a lot of free gears, and you should not be upgrading any gear outside of the beginner's questline. Until you reach the 4th stage, everything else should be +6, with 1 or 2 pieces that's +9, because for example here the quest requires you to have 2 items that are +9. But outside of that, you should not be upgrading any gear that is outside of what you obtain in the questline for now, until you can farm the 6-star gears from equipment stage 7, 8. So I go to story stage and I go until I'm stuck, and after I'm stuck I usually check for new gears, upgrade them. If I'm stuck again, then I can farm hard nodes, so there's hard mode difficulties, and then after that I can go to event. So event, I've actually cleared everything as well. I'll have a more detailed guide on the event stuff, but events are always usually the best and most efficient way to farm fodders plus currency for the event exchange. And then after farming event, if I'm not doing so great event or I'm stuck again, then I go to mat farming. So if you watched my yesterday's video, I said you really have to farm your water mats to unlock the 3 stars, but unfortunately right now it's closed and it's going to be another 29 hours. So if you want to make the push today, you can only farm fire mats, which unfortunately is 0-4, and 0-4 doesn't perform well later on in the story because a lot of enemies are water types. So pretty much chapter 6 and 7 are mostly water and fire types, which means Grace will do really well because she's either neutral or super effective, but 0-4 will not. So yeah, you might be gated because of this, but on Sunday, everything will open so you can farm green, red, or blue. So usually I just farm them, and of course, as you go through the story and as you go through the quest, it unlocks mats as well, so you'll be good in terms of having enough mats to upgrade, I think, at least 1 unit. But like I've said, I got Grace to 3 stars so I can upgrade the skills, and also because upgrading these gives bonuses such as HP and attack, and after that just rinse and repeat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And one thing you may be, oh yes, so I do auto, and one thing I'll show you that many people don't know, and I'll just include it in this part as well, is in the autopods there is offline repeat. So this is the offline repeat button. If you're farming events or if you're farming story, you can just use this system to auto repeat. This checkbox is repeat after you fail, and because it doesn't consume stamina, you can infinitely repeat. This is stop when one of your unit hits max level. This is save battery saving mode. You can turn this on or off, it doesn't really matter because it'll be closing the app. Because this check mark allows you to run the auto repeat even when the app is closed, or even if you turn off your phone, it'll run in the background on the cloud. These don't touch. This is auto selling equipment, and this is auto retiring fodders that you get. So don't touch these two. And this is auto refill on stamina. Crystals here, stamp pots here, and don't use anything here. So yeah, that's the auto refill function. And one more thing in auto, make sure that you set, if you want to go offensive, set this girl And if you want to be defensive, set this guy, the blue orb. So in the second half of the chapter 6 and also chapter 7, I use exclusively the blue one because it blocks damage. So you can select here. Let me pause this one. Here we go. So if you want to do auto, here's a few things in the auto menu. So here, this toggles between prioritizing mobs or minions. Usually you just want to do bosses first. And if you click on the little arrow here, you can do select your auto support Artery Gear. So a lot of people have this empty, but you can select, in my case, I always select the blue shield. The shield lets me tank 2 attacks, whether it be AoE or single target. So later on this is definitely helpful. And another thing I set on my auto is you can actually change the AI. So I set my Morris to use the AoE heal first, always at under 80%, anyone on the team with under 80% HP. And then I set the second skill to be always cast at position 1, which is where Morris is, because a 3-star ascended Morris second skill will grant a -1 cooldown. So she'll essentially heal herself, have the -1 cooldown, use her third skill to AoE heal, and then she just non-stop heals. So she can tank and keep your team healthy. Oh, and make sure you save after you change everything with OK. And then Alice, you can change her AI as well. Make sure you set the speed boost or the extra turn skill as number 1, so it activates that first, and select whichever slot you want it to cast on. So I selected the 3rd slot because that's where my Grace is, and yeah, so she will, for example, if I press auto, cast the boost on Grace. Grace will get the attack up, and you can see that the shield was casted, and yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of auto. I think the last stage, 7-10, you do have to manual to time the shield to be used when the boss appear. But other than that, I think that is pretty much set. Hopefully you have a good run and you're able to clear story like I did, all 3 stars. I'm going to have upcoming videos with information about, because I'm at the last stage of the beginner's quest, so I'll show you what gear, amazing gear it has for you. I'll have a video about events, how to farm, how to optimize currency exchange, and then I'll be having my first 6-star very soon as well. So you can see that here's in the 3 5-stars, and I've got a few down there too, so I'll have enough to make a 6-star unit as well. So we'll have a video discussion about what would be the best choice. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and do subscribe if you are looking for more Artery Gear content, and I'll catch you guys in the Discord or in the next video.